Yes. Fantastic. How are you guys? I am so excited to be here for you guys tonight. This is very exciting. I'm in a good place in my life. I just married my first husband. I know, it's so exciting. We'll see how this goes. People always want to know what married life is like. They always ask you that. What's that like? What's married life like? And the best way for me to describe it is it's like finding a parking spot. Well, it's like finding a better parking spot. Because you know how when you're first driving around and you find a spot and it's not really where you want it to be and you know it's gonna be a bad idea and probably kind of toxic, but what are you gonna do? Not park? Of course not. So you pull in knowing this isn't a good choice, but you stay there for like 6 or 7 years. And then eventually you wise up and you're like, I'm not happy in this spot. I'm just gonna leave and go home. And then you pull out thinking you're gonna go home, but then you see the perfect spot that's right there. And it's been there the whole time, but you didn't notice because you were distracted by the first spot because the first spot had a nice butt. That's what it's like. And it's wonderful because my husband is a good guy. This is a good relationship, which is good because they're not all winners. I was in a bad relationship for 7 years. People always say the same thing. They're like, if it was so bad, why did you stay? Well, why does anybody stay in a bad relationship? 'Cause they're fun. You never know what's gonna happen with this psycho. You're like, what are we gonna fight about today? Every day is an adventure. It's like living in one of those choose your own adventure books, but you have no control over the outcome. So you're just there like, did I overcook the chicken? We're gonna find out in a couple of pages. I did, it's on the floor. I was with my ex-boyfriend for 7 years. 3 months after we split, he got married. Now, if you do the relationship math, something shady may have occurred. And I'll give you the hashtag facts, as the kids say. Women get in more bad relationships than men. Why? Because men see red flags and they bolt. Women see red flags and we go, I can fix that. Yeah. Right? Give me 6 months, I got this. 12 years later, you're like, this is taking longer than I expected. Yes, I'm chipping away at the problem, though. Chipping away. Why do we do it, ladies? Why? We're conditioned, that's why. Because what do they tell you when you're a little girl? If he hits you, he likes you. If he teases you, he likes you. So you grow up and you're like, well, he set my clothes on fire. We're in love. I'm glad I'm over that stage. There are things I'm getting over as I get older, just people, certain types of people. And as I get older, I'm like, I don't need you in my life anymore. Like grammar Nazis. Yeah, I'm over you. You know, those, we have a girlfriend, she's always like, it's Y-O-U''RE. I'm always like, that's why Y-O-U''RE, single. That's why you're single. Nobody likes that, don't do that anymore. And I saw this recently. There was a group of women having a breakup party. Anybody who does that, I'm checking them on the list like, nope, don't need you in my life anymore. I hate that. Don't have a breakup party. You're not allowed to be happy about this. Cry and be miserable like the rest of us. Plus, breakup parties always start and end the same way. It's always a group of girls, because it's never guys. When men go from being in a relationship to being single again, they're just single. There's no ribbon cutting ceremony. But there's always a group of women, they rally around their girlfriend who's going through a breakup, and they're like, forget him, he was a loser and we never liked him. And she's like, I know, right? I wasn't even in love with him like the full 18 years we were together. Let's go out and make bad choices. And then they go out, fast forward to the end of the night when that same girl is drunk and she's like, maybe if I just call him. Or people that post stuff to Facebook to get attention. You know, these people that'll post stuff, even if it's just a simple thing like feeling sad. Like, oh, are you? Had to let the world know. Or like one of my girlfriends who always posts these strong woman posts. These strong, like 12 ways to love a strong woman. Why being a strong woman in today's society is so hard. You know, she's waiting for one of her girlfriends to be like, you're the strongest woman I know. Yeah, and it's hard when you know the girl and you know she's not really like that and you want to be like, were you being strong when you were ladling ice cream in your face last week? Because you didn't get the text back? Hashtag you strong though, you strong though. You guys have been great, thank you so much. The first minutes of motherhood are chaos. Chaos, absolute chaos. And everybody has a different emotional reaction. Everybody has a different feeling. Immediately, I went protective. Immediately, I was looking at my son and I understood why parents would go to prison for their kids. I used to think that was crazy. I used to think that was extreme. And then looking at my son, I was like, nope. In a heartbeat. I was like, man, if the cops ever came looking for him, I would say I did it. I would. Or I would tell them I haven't seen him because I ain't no snitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna do my baby like that. Just open the door and be like, I haven't seen him in like 6 I need the accent to sound innocent, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I'm Puerto Rican, but from the Bronx, so I can't just like open the door and be like, nah, son, I ain't seen him in a hot minute. I told him it's on sight when I see him though, dead ass, bro. The cops would be like, we're gonna arrest you anyway. She talks like a rapper. I was looking at him, man, I was holding him in my arms, and I remember thinking this baby could do no wrong, man. He could grow up, move away, forget about me, move back home, stab me, I don't care. I would be like, wipe your fingerprints off the knife. Tell them I did it to myself. Boys will be boys. That was just the first couple of minutes, man. First couple minutes. But a week of having a newborn in my house. I called my mom. And I was like, I'm sorry for everything I ever did. I was on the phone with her like, this baby's a douchebag. He bit my boob the other day. No, he made eye contact. He did it on purpose. I hate it here. I want to go home. I was stressed, man. Because they don't really tell you. There's no way to really prepare for what it's going to be like. And what a unique situation to have to prepare for. Like just having a newborn during the pandemic. There was no outlet. And there was no advice they give you at the hospital. This is what they told me at the hospital. Before I left the hospital, this is what they said. This is all they said. You're going to want to rest. That's all they say. You're going to want to rest. They forgot to add, but you'll never get the chance again. Welcome to a lifetime of anxiety. Joke's on you, I already have it. What a crazy time, because there was so much tension. I think in everybody's relationship there was tension during the pandemic. Like if you fought with your partner during the pandemic, like it's not about how much you love them. That's too many hours with one person. Because we all have flaws. None of us are perfect. We shouldn't look for perfection in our partners. I think we should understand that everybody has flaws. It's not about your partner being perfect, but it's about how you handle those imperfections you have in each other, along with each other. And I think that was the biggest issue. Nobody was prepared to be around their partner 24/7, uninterrupted. Look, my husband's biggest thing is he's a talker, which is never said as a compliment. That is a warning every time. Like, hey, he's a talker. Go with God. And people underestimate it all the time. because they don't understand he's the type of talker that doesn't need anyone else for the conversation. Do you know these people? You know how many times I've been at home like, did I leave a podcast on? Like, who's bringing up random topics? And then during the pandemic, he started doing this new thing that he'd never done before, where he just announced things he was doing around the house. I'd be in the living room and I'd hear, babe, I made space for the ketchup in the refrigerator. And I'd be like, good job, man. Because my therapist said be more encouraging, you know what I mean? So I was like, who's killing it in the kitchen? I didn't grow up with positive reinforcement, so I don't know how to be encouraging without sounding like I'm talking to a pet, like, who's a good husband? Who's a good husband? Off the couch, who's a good husband? Of course, we fought. Of course, we bumped heads. Of course, we got on each other's nerves. Like, I'm definitely the kind of person, like, he has to put up with my flaws, too. And I'm definitely the kind of person that, you know, I think the hardest thing he has to put up with is the fact that my mood depends on your tone. You don't have to tell me. I know it's toxic. I'm aware. I'm working on it. It's not fun, you know what I mean? To be the kind of person that's always like, what'd you say? And at this point, we've established that when a woman says, what'd you say? She's not asking you to repeat what you said. She is asking you to rethink what you said. It's not fun to have somebody walking on eggshells like that, you know what I mean? Like, what'd you say? Good morning? Please say I did it right. We were bound to bump heads, man, but we're also both in therapy. And I don't know if you've ever fought with a healthy person. But it's annoying. Because we'd get into these big blow-up fights, right? Where we would just yell at each other, and then I'd storm out, right? And I'd have time to process. And I'd come back in and I'd be like, ugh. I realize my reaction to the previous situation is based on trauma from a former relationship that I shouldn't bring into this current space. Don't get too excited, baby girl. And then my husband would come in and he'd be like, ugh, I want you to know that I hear you and I see you. I was like, I hate us. I don't want to be us, I want to jump us. I don't like us. I come from a family where you flip a table to make a point, you know what I'm saying? Like, this feels too healthy, you know what I'm saying? And I got a temper on me. I'm not proud of it, but it's something I know about myself. Right? Like, I got one of those tempers where I'll get real mad, real bad, real fast. Yeah. And then 5 seconds later, I'm like, we're cool. They'll be like, Gina, you burned down the house. Okay, but I'm a new woman now.